just saying the word makes people flinch. We've spent 40 years being told fat is the enemy, the thing to burn, to starve, to cut away. Diets are built on fighting it, but here's the truth. Fat is not the enemy. It is one of the most carefully engineered organs in your body, and you would die without it. Body fat stores your energy, insulates your organs, powers your brain, and runs your hormones. The problem isn't that you have fat. The problem is that modern life keeps telling your body to store it, and then blames you for listening. This is how fat actually works. And once you see the machinery, you can never look at a diet the same way again. Let's go inside. Fat lives in cells called adipocytes, fat cells, and a fat cell is basically a balloon with a drop of oil in the middle. The oil is triglyceride, 3 fatty acids bound to a glycerol backbone. It's the most energy-dense fuel your body owns. 1 gram of fat holds 9 calories. Carbs and protein only hold 4. Every fat cell can swell to many times its size. An adult carries tens of billions of them. And here's the part nobody tells you. Body fat isn't just a lump of unused energy. It is an organ, a living tissue that talks to your brain, your liver, and your hormones. You can grow it. You can shrink it. You can't switch it off. So it's worth understanding what you're actually managing. So how does fat get built? The short answer: when you take in more energy than you use, the surplus gets banked as fat. Calories in, calories out, it's true, and it's not the whole story, because the body is not a passive bucket. It's an active accountant that decides how much to store, how much to release, and where to put it. In classic overfeeding studies, people ate far more than they needed for weeks. The surprising result: most of them gained far less weight than the math predicted. The body burned off part of the surplus as heat. Your metabolism isn't just a receipt for what you eat. It's a system with its own rules. And the accountant who runs it is a hormone. That hormone is insulin. When you eat carbohydrates, they break down into glucose, sugar in your blood. Rising blood sugar triggers insulin, and insulin does 2 things. It tells your cells to burn glucose first, and it tells your fat tissue to grab the leftovers and store them. Insulin is the master switch for storage. When it's high, your body is in save mode. When it drops, fat cells release their fuel, and your body lives on its own reserves. That's why the timing and type of what you eat matter so much. It's not just calories, it's the signal. A modern diet of constant, refined carbs keeps insulin high all day, a body that never gets the signal to unlock the pantry. Now the metabolism myth. My metabolism slowed down when I hit 30. It's one of the most repeated sentences in wellness culture, and mostly wrong. Your resting metabolism is driven by your body's mass, your heart, your brain, your organs, and above all, your muscle. Muscle is expensive to keep. It burns energy around the clock. Research on thousands of people shows metabolism doesn't suddenly collapse at 30. It declines slowly, and the biggest driver is losing lean mass and moving less, not a birthday switch. 2 people, same size, one with more muscle, can burn hundreds of calories more per day. Your engine size matters more than your age, and you control more of it than you think. Your body runs on 2 fuels, glucose and fat. Glucose is the sprint fuel, quick, clean, and the brain's favorite. Your brain is only 2% of your body weight, but it burns about 20% of your daily energy, almost all of it glucose. That's why sugar cravings hit so hard. It's not greed, it's a very hungry organ talking. Fat is the marathon fuel, slow release, vast reserves. Here's the irony. We spent 4 decades pushing low-fat diets, and obesity rates went the wrong direction. Because when you cut fat from food, you usually replace it with sugar and refined carbs, which spikes insulin and flips the body into storage mode. The problem was never fat on your plate. It was the signal, not the substance. So where does the energy out come from? 3 places. Your resting metabolism, the idle cost of running your body. The thermic effect of food, digesting burns energy and protein costs the most. And activity. But here's the hidden one: neat, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Fidgeting, walking to the kitchen, standing instead of sitting. People differ by hundreds of calories a day in NEAT alone, just from how much they move without thinking. And there's a 4th, stranger engine, brown fat. Unlike white fat, which stores energy, brown fat burns it to make heat. Adults keep pockets of it around the neck and shoulders, and cold turns it on. It's a heating bill your body pays with calories. Now, where fat gets stored matters as much as how much you have. The danger zone is visceral fat, the deep belly fat wrapped around your organs. And here's the uncomfortable part: the body's stress hormone, cortisol, actively pushes fat there. We covered this in the stress video. Chronic stress keeps cortisol high, and cortisol tells belly fat cells to grow and to release fatty acids. Belly fat isn't just cosmetic. It's metabolically active tissue that pumps inflammatory signals into your bloodstream. Two people can carry the same amount of fat, and the one carrying it around the middle faces the higher risk. Where it goes is a signal of how the whole system is being managed. So why do diets fail? Not because you're weak, because most diets fight the system instead of working with it. When you cut calories hard, the body doesn't just burn fat. It burns muscle too, lowers your metabolism, and floods you with hunger hormones. It thinks there's a famine, and a body that believes it's starving will win a war of willpower every single time. Weight regulation is a feedback loop, not a decision. Sleep, stress, blood sugar, gut signals, boredom, all of it feeds into how much you eat. The people who succeed aren't the ones with superhuman discipline. They're the ones who fix the inputs, so the system stops fighting them. Willpower is not the mechanism. It's what you fall back on when the system is broken. Here's what actually works. Protein first, it's the most filling nutrient, and your body burns the most calories digesting it. Resistance training next. Muscle is the engine that burns around the clock, and lifting twice a week is enough to build it. Sleep. One bad night raises your hunger hormone and lowers the fullness signal. Sleep-deprived people eat more measurably. And NEAT, walking, taking stairs, standing. Hundreds of calories a day, zero gym required. None of this is glamorous. None of it needs an app or a shake or a fat-burning product. It's the boring version of the science: protein, muscle, sleep, and moving a little more. The levers were never secret. They were just never profitable. So here's the reframe. Body fat is not a mistake. It's a strategic reserve, an insurance policy your ancestors depended on to survive winters and famines. The goal was never to have zero fat. The goal is a working energy system, a body that stores what it needs, releases what it needs, and doesn't panic. A calorie is not an enemy unit to be destroyed. It's a unit of energy your body is deciding how to spend. When you stop treating fat as the villain and start treating it as a system, sleep, stress, protein, muscle, movement, the outcome changes. Not because you tried harder, because the machinery is finally on your side. Fat is one of the most ancient, most intelligent systems in your body. Learn how it works, and it works for you. So next time you look in the mirror, don't declare war on your fat. Understand it. Manage the signals, and the storage takes care of itself. If this changed how you think about your body, share it with someone who's been fighting a pointless diet war. And subscribe. The series is called How It Works, and there's a lot more body to cover. Thanks for watching.